what you call it, the Congress and the Senate, they could do it, but they could not do it. Even when we're talking about the pork, or what you call it, the pork money that they send into each state, many people campaign against it, but they asked Ron Paul. I like his father, Ron Paul. He's a true man. I like him. Ron Paul, he's a Republican. They asked him, are you going to cut it? He said, no, he's not going to. He did not want to do it. Same thing with Obama. There's many things that, because a lot of black people like, oh, we got Obama. System. I came from a country where there's a black president and the country was still screwed. It's a system.
That's because everybody in 90% of your country is black.
So what's the point about that?
The point is, 90% of this country is not black. So to have a black president is a big deal.
Okay, no, I'm not talking about it's a big deal. No, I'm just saying that the system is still the same. Many things that he said, did he do it?
He's doing it. You got to give him time. You can't stop a freight train on the dime.
No, we could not. But Obama is just a human being. He's just in the system. He's just a human being. We're not going to idolize Obama.
He's doing his job.
Like I said, you got a freight train going in the wrong direction, 200 miles an hour. You can't stop it on the dime.
Okay, but
all right. Before Steve.
Are you working? Oh, yeah, you were. I'm sorry.
You know to talk out of turn.
I'm sorry. Yeah.
Let him go. Go.
Sorry about that.
Listen. The whole thing here is that, I mean, now is that it's towards the end of the meeting. It's 49. What I want to see is some unity. What can we do? Because we the ones that make the change, not the government, the Republicans, the Democrats. We the ones that make the change. What can we do based on the differences that we see and the common ground that we have that we've expressed? What can we do together because I like what this brother was saying right here. Both y'all have some good things that you said. Some of you things you said we disagree with, but at the same time, we can do something. What can we do to change this?
The first thing we can do is
us in this.
Yes. The thing that we can do is, one, to stop discussing why this group does that, why this group does that. That's how we're being used constantly. Just like the perception is that the minorities are using welfare and all that stuff. That's not true. It's never been true. There are more white people using all the social services than everyone else. But the media keeps pointing out that one or two little things that pits people against one another.
Right.
And so politicians then use that. Where they're going to cut your thing when they go to certain groups in certain areas. They're going to cut this, they're going to cut that. Meanwhile, that's a small percentage. That's not the big part of the pie, but everybody thinks that it's their piece of the pie. So we're constantly being used. And the second thing we can do is vote primarily for the new person. The new person that is not entrenched.
Well, when you say the policy of the new person, or should we study the policies of the new person? Not just new person, right?
Not just because they're the new person, but when you got someone there that's been there for 30, 40 years, dude, that person is just a leech on our dime. That is period. It doesn't matter white, black, yellow, Republican, Democrat. They're stealing left and right. When they got elected, they had $50 in their bank account, and now they have 50 million in their bank account. They didn't get it through, they didn't get it because they earned something. They got it because of being there and being connected and passing policies that get kickbacks, because that's how they got all that money. That's the way the system is. We get rid of some of these old farts who are taking advantage of us constantly by putting group against. Listen, when someone goes to one group and says ABC, and then goes to the next group and says ABC, we're done as a society.
There's a simple solution to that. It's called term limits.
Forget term limits.
What do you mean forget term limits?
That's a fake out.
If you put a term limit, then you
wait.
Yeah, but that's a fake out.
If your term limit is 3 terms, you can do 6 years in Congress, you can do 18 years in the Senate, and you gotta go.
Yeah, but these guys are not going to term limit themselves.
Okay, then you term limit them.
You can't
put it on their ballot and make it an amendment to the Constitution.
You can't.
All right. Let's move on. We got to wrap up officially. We got to officially wrap up in a minute. All right.
Yeah. Just to answer your question, you said what can we do to moving forward. I mean, the only thing we can really do is just educate ourselves on the system that we are in currently, and and just kind of really, it sounds really selfish, but go for yours. This is a country where everybody is so different. So only person looking out for your own best interest is you. You look out for your family, and you educate yourself, and you figure out, all right, where do I need to be, what do I need, and you go get it. You don't make excuses, you do it. I mean, that's all you really can do.
Okay, let's go to the next question real quick. He had his hand up. I'm Jerry, and then we'll continue.
Okay, just in response to what we can do, okay? This brother said to look for the new person. He's my favorite person on the stage, okay? He said to look for the new person, and we need to build that new person and support that new person. Well, the future is always the children. So if we have the opportunity, I encourage everybody to homeschool your children. You're all intelligent in this room. Do not send your children to be encouraged to be stupid. Okay, homeschool your children and encourage them to be intelligent. Don't worry about anything else. I'm sure that you guys are good parents, or you'll make good parents, and that's enough. That's what we can do. Homeschool our children, and if you have the opportunity, homeschool your neighbor's children. That's it.
All right, let me.
People, you know, it's going to take a lot. The one thing that I always like to remind people, look at how the right wing, the Tea Partiers, the right wing have always done it. They've run for office. They've run at the local level. And young people got to do that. I mean, that's how you change the system. I mean, we can sit here and talk about those old folks in the system and how there's so much greed in the system, but until you run and become a powerful player, a player yourself, you don't have no power. You can't change a thing. And we all have to get out in the streets. That's how people have done it in the past, is moved into the streets in a movement, but a lot of people don't want to do that nowadays. And it's really kind of hard to mobilize people until they are personally affected, but by that time, it's too late. So, you know, I always remind people, it's not enough to vote, you gotta run. And that's how you change things.
Okay,
You should, just one other thing though. Like, if we could in this room, I mean, there's a lot of different people. I run my own group. Labidi does a TV show, a radio show on Sunday morning at 8. And I'm sure other people in this room have some type of function that they do. Is there any way we can interact with one another and be able to exchange information so we can help to support one another in their endeavors?
Okay, well, make sure you sign on the email list, and then we can pass out anybody want to promote their information, organization or whatnot. I'll send it out to everybody.
Yeah, we can network.
It looks like we're going to wrap it up at this time.
He's got one last. I'll just throw
Yeah, finally!
I'll just throw out one line, and you mentioned that, you know, you're maybe going to have a discussion on conspiracy theories. What I think all groups have to do is to define their common enemy. And I would suggest that, you know, that be a topic at some point. I believe I know who our common enemy is, but
You see, that is very bad when you start thinking of Americans as a common enemy.
No. Define who our common enemy is.
Exactly. Well, what do you think that is in America? We're Americans.
Pardon?
We're Americans. If you're going to define what the problem is, that's the enemy. Therefore, that's Americans.
We Americans must define who the enemy in America is.
Yeah.
It's an inside job here.
Thank you.
Right. Anyway, have another meeting. I'd love to be here, and I'll collaborate.
December 10th. December 10th. All right.
Okay, to wrap it up, you know, throughout history, everybody who wanted change, and you know, when someone tells me that they're trying to change the world, I don't want nothing to do with that person, because a lot of people want to change the world. Do I want that person's change in my life? You know, Hitler changed the world, and Stalin changed the world. A lot of nasty people change the world, but day-to-day people don't go. The only way you can change the world is make it for the worst. As we, as a society, little by little, go about doing the best we can in our little area, that makes change for the better. People out there that want to change the world, I don't trust them for no one. And